and choose to go ahead and just fit that accordingly. And notice down here at the bottom that it automatically went ahead and brought in the caption and credit information. So this is the caption and this is the credit. As I resize this particular image, you'll see that it'll automatically change or resize the caption underneath it. You can see as I move it, they move together. They are not grouped, however. It's just a little thing that we have inside of our software over here. And you can choose, when you select preferences for Smart Image, whether or not you're going to place the caption and the credit, whether you want to combine them into their one text frame, and you can see I'm doing that here. What's the separator between the two of them? Is it a space, a tab, etc.? For the credit, if I was not combining them together, do I want the credit positioned to the right? Do I want to rotate it? What should the default width be? What should the object style, paragraph style, character style? I can add text before, such as photo by. I can add text after, such as all rights reserved. I can even go to the caption and select some similar options here as well. I'm just going to leave that as combined caption and credit. And all of these preferences are, again, stored per document and per template, so you don't have to worry about syncing up preferences across workstations for these different things. So I've got that there. And now if I'm working at a particularly large publication, I may have multiple layouts or layout artists that I may want to use for different jobs. Like, let's say we're working on something very quickly. I want to farm something out to someone else. Wouldn't it be great if they could go ahead and work on a document, and then when I'm ready, I could bring it in to my document? And, well, guess what? In version 6, we now support that as well. We call it layout modules. If I go here to my Smart Connection palette, I also have handy dandy another search created that automatically finds me layout modules in the system. And you can see that I've got a monthly layout module that if I go ahead and drag onto my page, it comes in as an image. And the reason why it comes in as an image is because someone may still be working on this document. They may have it open up on their screen, and they're actively putting it together. And so I'm really can't make adjustments to their document while they've got it open. But with it as an image, they can go ahead and continue to work on it in InDesign. I can get updates, etc. Over here, I'm just going to go ahead and change my display performance to a high quality display, so that way it looks a little bit better. But if I wanted to go ahead and actually open up this particular document for editing, I could right-click, go to Edit Original. When I select that, you can see it opens up the document itself. Now, layout modules are limited to one page. They do exist as separate objects in the system with a completely different workflow from pages. So you can go ahead and create layout modules that are a quarter of a page, half a page, full page, etc., and farm these out to other layout designers, and they can work on it. And then you can go ahead and just bring it on in, and it can be looked at by other designers, etc. Very different than some of our other competitors who simply just allow you to put a page inside of another page, which really limits you in a certain way as to how you can parcel out your workflow. So we think that we one-upped our competitors in that particular functionality. Another new thing that we've got inside of version 6 is this capability to place multiple components of an article in different editions. Now, I mentioned editions earlier in another video, talked about how they can be set up to be either different geographical regions for your publication. So let's say, for example, you're a large national publication and you have different advertising / different content even for the West Coast than you do for the East Coast. Or let's just say you have a Spanish version of your publication. What you can do inside of version 6 is you can call up your editions palette. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this text frame. And you can see I've got 3 editions set up inside of my workflow. I've got an international edition, special edition, and a supplement edition. I don't want this particular text frame and picture to be inside of the special edition. So you can see I can take that little checkbox off, and over here on the left-hand side, you can see that it's blank. And if I go ahead and click on the eye, you'll see that this component exists on all 3 editions, but that other part only exists on the International and the Supplement edition. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll go to this monthly Our Globe library and drag this little sidebar component here onto my page. You can see it places that there. Maybe I'll move it a little bit more to the right too, and just widen it slightly. I can make all of these adjustments. Alright, now I'm going to make sure that's selected in my editions palette. I want to say that this only exists on the special edition. So I take the checkbox off those other editions, and you can see that I can click back and forth to see them. And then I can go to my Elements palette, which lists me all the components on the things that have been placed. And you can see inside of this one article for the Volar jump, I've got a sidebar component that isn't placed. If I go ahead and just drag that right into here, you'll see that it places it. And then in my Editions palette here, or panel as Adobe calls it now, as I switch between the different editions, I actually have one component of an article that is placed in 2 different editions. That was something that wasn't possible before in earlier versions of Enterprise. So now I can go ahead and have various components in one file, one article that's actually being edited through the workflow process, and place it in different editions. I can place it multiple times in other publications. This is a very powerful feature that wasn't available before, and that some of our other vendors or competitors don't have either. So we're really proud of this particular functionality, and we think it'll be very useful to our customers out there. And that pretty much covers the print portion of the demonstration.